All right, welcome back. We're talking about Tracee Ellis Ross. This is part two of the video that we started earlier. Tracee Ellis Ross reveals the dark side of dating as a unicorn. I already told you she's not a unicorn, okay? Not in this topic. Maybe in other aspects of life, maybe to an extent, but overall, after 30 years of having an opportunity to whatever happened there, she's explaining it to you right now. She's also explaining it to us right now. So whatever happened there, it's not going to be as simple as as pointing.
We go explain because no evidence.
No, it won't be as simple as pointing fingers. But let's continue. She was trying to tell us that she's dating younger men, and of course, Michelle stopped her. Let's continue to listen.
Oh my God, we had a
Several
great dinner.
snaps on that
We
one.
had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, "Well, maybe because I can."
Yes, Barish.
So it's interesting. Remember, we're talking about Shannon Sharp. Of course, that one is extreme, a 56-year-old to a 19-year-old. I'm not going to compare that, but I'm just saying we don't keep that same energy when it comes to these women in terms of them dating younger people. When they say they date younger people, they don't mean just 3 years younger, by the way. They're talking about younger, 10 years, 15 years, sometimes 20 years. Yes. We don't keep that same energy. Just so you know, me, I'm okay with it because I understand the reality of double standards. I doubt if you admit to it, but it's okay, ladies. I'm talking about just the ladies, right? But gentlemen, we know what this is. It's real life double standard, and it's okay. You know, hopefully everybody are willing to deal with the consequences of this type of choices. But anyway, she's talking about dating young men. She said Barack Obama was like, why? Me too. I'm like, why? Why are you dating younger men? Kilo Shele. Let's continue.
This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracee tales.
But
dating-
I'm sorry.
but one of the
younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to
Dating
ask myself
younger
that
men.
question, I was like, "What is this about?"
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often,
You want
and
a
it's
partner,
not just
younger
that
men.
I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who
Yes.
knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and
Hey, so let me guess, you're going to be in charge of the younger men too. Ladies, would you want a Tracee Ellis Ross? It's a quick question. It's not a trick question. Just give me your answer. Would you want a Tracee Ellis Ross, 52 years old, to date your son who is younger, who is like about 27.5 years old? Tell me, 27.5 years old is a grown man. Front lobe is completely fully developed. Would you want your Tracee Ellis to date potentially because she's looking for a partner? Would you want him to be partner with this? See, I tell you, this word is not gender as the way you guys try to make it gender. All of us will collect, every single one of us. So you can try to play the gender thing. We'll wait until you have a daughter or when you have a son, and then we'll see how far you go with it. Let's keep going.
who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
They're hot and
there's
gorgeous.
There's
Imagine a 52-year-old man talking about I date younger women only. They're hot and gorgeous. Again, just imagine it. Because me, I already understand it's a double standard and it's okay. Everybody just drink water. But just imagine it for a second. I'm just trying to get you to understand how human beings think and how we have selective rules depending on which side we fall on, right? Let's keep going.
that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in.
So this is again pointing fingers. Okay, first of all, what's the first? She's a unicorn. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not her fault that she was born a unicorn to Miss Diana Ross, and it's not her fault that she's a rock star of a lady with a lot of money and attention and status in society. It's not her fault, right? So pointing fingers. What was the second thing? She dates younger men. It's not my fault that they're younger and hot. What's the third thing right now? She said what? Older men have toxic masculinity.
Age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to
Wait.
charge of my life and who lives a very full, just robust life. So
Mhm.
it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up
Yes,
other
why?
than they're hot and
The same question that Barack Obama asked. Why?
gorgeous?
Mhm. There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
When she said a lot of men my age, she actually means all. Let's be clear, okay? She means all, okay? No, but don't put words in her mouth. No, I am putting words in her mouth. She means all, okay? Almost all. Almost. Most. 97%. All. Potato, potata. Same thing, potato, potata. Same difference. She's saying, I experience all the ones she's dealt with. This, remember, is the reason why she's dating younger men. Just remember that, right?
And have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me,
Anything that smells, let me do translation for you. Anything that smells like structure for her. What does she? Anything that smell like structure, not safety, because she still wants safety. There's a lot of women that want structure, but they want safety, but they don't want the structure. Listen, most women are like that, okay? So I'm not even judging for that. So you have to be self-empowered, self-aware, intentional with respect to emotional intelligence to actually say, this is my natural. I want safety, but I don't want structure. I don't want rules. I don't want nobody setting rules for me, but I want the safety that those things provide. A lot of women are like that. All women are like that, okay? But not all women are dumped to that. Many women are working on themselves and they are emotional intelligent to say, I'm going to push against myself, because they understand that everything that feels good, all things are expedient, but not all things are, you know that word, right? They understand, like, let me push against my own flesh a little bit. But what did she say? What do most people do at 52?
relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for
Anything
me,
that smells
I
like
am
what?
I did enough of it
Yeah.
where I was controlled and felt like I was a
trauma.
possession, or
Trauma.
whatever those things were, or prize, or
A prize.
and I have no interest in it. And
She has no interest. It's trauma response. These are the issues, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the issues you're dealing with. All you have to do is talk a little bit longer. All you have to do is get on the podcast. You tell us all the secret. Without admitting to it, we'll see it. This is it right here. Right? No rules, no structure, but I want safety. Let's keep going. But I still want a partner. What do you mean? Why? Oh, because you want sex. Hey.
will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or
Good
is it
question.
just
I'm
kind
not
of the
saying
guys
that's
you're
sort
meeting?
of, that's obvious.
Is it kind of the guys you're meeting? Is this about you are meeting? I mean, this is about all the men who are your age range, 52. Generalization is your enemy, okay? All of our enemy. I do it too. You have to push back ahead, push against yourself when you're generalizing. Just try silently. You don't have to say it out. You don't have to be a police. Just silently, like, that was generalization right there. So that's not necessarily true, and that also does not expose me to the lessons that I actually need to learn when I generalize, right? So Baba is asking, this is I forgot his name, something Robinson. This is Michelle Obama's brother, actual brother.
Too big of a
It's a
generalization.
generalization,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
it's a generalization.
because I have dated men my age, there
Yeah.
is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether
Maybe because you're Tracee Ellis Ross and the younger men are just yielding to your leadership, and we know that's going to backfire. If let's allow us to generalize, eventually that's going to backfire, because they're going to want to yearn to be the man in the relationship, typically at some point. Maybe that's why. Maybe you're not really a unicorn after the fact. Maybe the issue is just you. Maybe, right? I'm being nice. Okay, trust me, they've been dragging her everywhere. I haven't watched a single one of them, but I've seen the titles, and I'm like, they're dragging the nonsense out of her. But I saw the actual podcast it myself. But these are the issues right here. Lack of self-awareness, and it gets worse the older you get, which is why we say don't just hang around and say God's time is the best. It is very true that God's time is the best, but don't use it to sabotage yourself. Don't do that to yourself. There are some lessons you need to learn about the lessons in the past and your experiences in the past, and they generally are not inside of generalization, because generalization is natural. You need to push yourself beyond. You need to you need to stretch yourself beyond the comfortable to actually get the lessons you need. She's wrong. She's wrong.
Whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times
I hear you.
or
There's some truth to that. Most men that are older tend to not be open-minded, but it's the same across the board, not just a gender thing. Like you just said, you're becoming more, rigid in your ways. You will not accept anything that looks like rules in a relationship, remember? So this is more like you getting older, you're more set in your ways and the things you're more familiar with. It's not necessarily a man and finding a partner or dating thingy, right? It's actually, if I was to weigh, I'm going to ask this question to everybody right now, okay? Let's weigh, which one is much more weird? Which one is weirder? The person who wants to date younger than them, who thinks they're hot and young, or the person who thinks the people of their age are suddenly myopic across the board, generalized. Which one is weirder? Okay, in my opinion, I'll leave my opinion. In my opinion, I'll leave my opinion. I want you guys to have the opinion in the comment section. But I think I've dropped more than enough here, okay? Do me a favor. If you missed part 1, go and watch part 1 to make a lot more sense. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Beautiful girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.